Okay, so we're going to dive into this really fascinating and honestly kind of controversial story about love, money, and a secret test that went, well, either dramatically right or terribly wrong, all depending on how you look at it.
I mean, it's a question we've all probably asked ourselves at some point, right? But what if you actually did it? One man turned this exact question into a real-life, 2-year-long experiment, and it really makes you wonder, where's the line when it comes to testing love?
All right, let's set the stage. Our main guy here, he was very successful financially. But with all that success came this nagging fear, a fear that someone might fall in love with his bank account, not with him.
And that right there was the whole reason he did this. He just wanted a genuine connection. Someone who loved him for his personality, his sense of humor, all the things that had nothing to do with money. So, he came up with a plan, a secret test.
And look, he was all in. This wasn't some little white lie. This was a complete lifestyle overhaul. He made sure he lived in a totally normal apartment, drove a regular car, and never, ever spent money in a flashy way. He built this whole new identity as just an average guy.
So with any good experiment, you need a baseline, right? A starting point. And at the beginning of their relationship, it looked like his test was gonna have the perfect result.
And you know what? For a while, it really looked like he'd hit the jackpot. The story describes her as super sweet, very caring, and, this is the important part, they just clicked. It seemed like the real deal, built on something genuine, totally separate from money.
But you knew there was a but coming, right? This is where the data starts to get a little weird. Small things started popping up, what we're calling the red flags. And this is where the whole experiment starts to pivot.
And wow, the change was dramatic. It's like the person he thought he knew just vanished. The sweet, caring partner suddenly couldn't stop talking about designer bags and fancy vacations. And that great connection, it got pretty strained when she started calling his ideas for dates cheap or boring. Her whole vibe just started to feel off.
And this wasn't just a one-time thing, It became a pattern. This constant chatter about expensive stuff and getting genuinely annoyed when he suggested a picnic in the park instead of a 5-star restaurant. And then she started asking for money. Just small things at first, like for a phone bill or a new dress, but it was a big step.
Now, every